Hello Facebook ads people, I'm Konstantinos, and today we're going to do together one campaign from scratch, and I'm going to analyze each one of the settings and how I use them for 2024. So I don't want to make an introduction about it. Let's go straight away to my PC and we're going to go step by step to each one of the settings, and I'm going to explain everything, and I hope that it's going to clear any questions that you have from all the messages that I'm getting from you. I wanted to make this video for a long period now because I get this question, and I think that this video alone is going to help me say, hey, look at this video, it's going to explain everything. We're going to create one campaign together, and we're going to go step by step to its different settings, and we're going to analyze things. First of all, the first thing over here is that we press on create, and we can see that we have changes compared to the previous year. So before we were having conversions over here, now we have sales and leads. For all of those that they're creating actually ads and they're having a specific event, for example, in their site, because they're having services like I have a company which is hair removal laser clinic, for example. Okay, so they have one special event which is called schedule. On sales, you're going to be able to find, you can see here it says good for conversions, catalog sales, and all of that. We used to have conversion events also. For example, this website schedule was conversion event, but now most probably you will be able to find it under leads, and there are going to be some custom events that are going to be listed under leads if you're not going to be able to find them on sales, especially for events that they don't have any value, you know, for example, closing an appointment or an actual lead event, someone who gave their mail and all of that. So it's the same thing when you do a conversion for leads and you do a conversion for purchases. It's the same thing for the settings that we're going to discuss for this video. But we're going to discuss on the sales over here. The first thing we see is that we can do now advanced plus campaigns and we can do manual sales campaigns. Advanced plus campaigns are still something that a lot of us were using, and you can keep using. There are some e-commerce stores that are not going to be able to use them, not because they don't have them, because now everybody has them, but because their pixel is not trained yet to that. That being said, I had some discussions and some questions from people. For example, there was a person from Poland who was talking to me, and he was saying, I'm having an audience of 12 million people. Someone from Australia with 20 million people on the whole broad audience. In these ad accounts and in smaller countries, yes, you can go immediately and you can actually create campaigns that are going to be advanced plus or broad targeting and stuff, because an audience of 20 or even 12 million, which is your full potential reach, is just going to be just like a normal interest that we're going to use in the United States. But in the United States, for example, just give me a second, I'm going to show you in one other account. In the United States, for example, I'm having this, I also created a video about it. So you can see here that when I started ads here on the 28th of November, I started with Advantage Plus campaign, which is broad targeting. My CPM was 32 and I had 0 sales at that point. And then I started using interests here and here, and my CPM was 13. So a lot of times you might hear people saying that interests are not good. You should not use them. Whoever is using them is an idiot and all of that. I'm just saying, and this is the whole purpose of this video, that there is not good or bad settings, it's the way that we're using them. And if we think of it, if you think everything on Facebook ads like a blueprint, that if you advertise in Australia, you will do the same thing. If you advertise in the United States, you will do the same thing. Then, guys, either you have to be lucky to find the correct blueprint that is going to work for your business also, or you're just going to be unlucky and you will just listen the next blueprint, the next blueprint until you find someone who is going to have a blueprint which is closer to your needs. But what I'm trying to say as a channel and as a person and as a consultant and as a Facebook ads guy is that we need to make our own philosophy for Facebook ads based on our needs by understanding how the platform is actually working. So interests are not good or bad. Interests can be used in several cases. Yes, Facebook is not using interests anymore or having teams that are working on the interests, that they are removing a lot of interests. But we have this kind of data over here, which shows us that, okay, I started with broad targeting, Advantage Plus in United States, and it wasn't working. What am I going to do? Just continue hitting 32 CPM? No, I tested interest. I got my first sales. I started getting my first sales. Now I'm even improving more, and I'm going to do broad targeting eventually, okay? But still, as you can see over here, I didn't train my pixel by 32 pounds CPM, but I trained it. This is not United States, sorry, this is United Kingdom. Basically, there are three markets that you can still use interest: Canada, United States, and United Kingdom. These are the big audiences on the broad that it's still very difficult for new pixels to actually work, and you might have to go to interest, then to lookalikes, then to broad. But this doesn't mean also that if you're failing completely in Australia, you just need to continue using, for example, broad targeting without testing interest. Maybe interest are going to help you to take your head start, but eventually you're going to end up using broad targeting because it's going to be more efficiently. I'm going to do the same on this ad account, but on this specific case, I can tell you that it was more expensive initially. So over here, we can see that we have an Advantage Plus, and in Advantage Plus, basically, you can do almost nothing. Let me create one just to show you. Basically, in Advantage Plus, and that's the whole purpose of the campaign. Here, you're having website and shop. We're going to analyze all of this in the normal CBO campaign or ABO campaign, and I'm going to tell you what is it. But over here, you have no influence except from doing website or website and shop. You have your commerce account if you're doing website and shop, so that you can list your shop. If you do website only, you can do that, or you can go for a value optimization, which is actually giving a specific goal here. These are called manual bidding. We're going to make dedicated videos about this, but over here I would go with maximum number of conversions for sure. And I wouldn't touch the cost per goal over here because I don't think that Advantage Plus is ideal for this kind of risky decisions. Audience, you're just going to do your country and no exclusions for this ad account. You can exclude your different audiences if you go here from the menu. Let me take this one here. If you go here from your menu and you actually go to your ad account settings, let me open one. You can come on the right side and you can list here for your Advanced Plus your existing custom audiences. What does it say? Your advertising settings automatically apply across all Advanced Plus shopping campaigns in this account. Define your existing customers using custom audiences to receive additional insights about your Advanced Plus shopping campaigns and audiences. Why is that helpful? Because then you can run Advanced Plus campaigns with bid. Let me show you in this ad account how does this work. If we do a sales campaign over here, and we do Advantage Plus, we can see that here these audiences are listed. You can do whatever you want. Most of the times I will do something from Klaviyo. I will do my purchase on the last 180 days and some other add to cart and view content audiences. You can also add initiate checkout, and you then are able to use that, which is the existing customer budget cap, so that you can say that I want you to spend only 10% of the budget to my Advantage Plus campaign. Let's continue with this campaign, and here we have the budget that you're setting. When we start, we're going to analyze it on the other campaign that we're going to create together, and then you have also the ads here. In Advanced Plus, you can do from 5 to 10. I think it's ideal for very small budgets like 50 or 100. Again, if you're having a very small audience, you can start immediately with Advanced Plus. If you're having a very huge big audience, you're advertising in the United States or other big countries, Maybe if Advanced Plus doesn't work initially, you have to go to interests and lookalikes and then go eventually to Advanced Plus, depending on what kind of results you're getting if you're going to test both. But in smaller countries like Greece, Poland, Switzerland, all of the other countries except from the 3 main that I mentioned, most probably you would be able to do Advanced Plus campaigns immediately and just focus on the creative side instead of trying to see what kind of interest you have to use. Let me discard this and let's start the real deal now. Let's discuss about all the settings, because as I said, the Advanced Plus is a preset and here we can do manual things. Now, we're going to start with, first of all, doing a sales campaign. We're going for purchases, but you can do you can take all of this knowledge about the technical side of each of the different things that we're going to analyze for your own specific event. Now, campaign name. I think it's very important to put names to your campaigns that it's going to make sense, okay? Because when you're organizing an ad account, it's up to you how you're going to name it and how you feel that you're going to be able to categorize it. But I like to put, for example, the type. For example, I say it's CBO. Then I'm saying that it's, for example, crazy method stacked lookalikes. So my targeting that I have inside and the method that I'm using. And then I'm talking about something like, which is going to help me understand the creatives. Let's say, for example, end of June 2024 video ads, so that I can know, okay? Now, this can change, and this people have different ways of actually naming their campaigns. Just remember that even if you have just one campaign right now, maybe later you're going to have 20, so you need to know what you're looking at. Special categories. Special categories is for credit, employment, and housing. For employment, for example, I really have a very nice example that I use. Basically, Facebook is trying to not distinguish people. And for example, the credit, I believe it's coming from the fact that you cannot, for example, profile a person because he's black and don't give him credit, for example. Or if someone is very young, you should not profile them and not give them credit. While these companies, they do this all the time, by the way, okay? They are going to give you credit only if you have a loan, for example, a car loan, for example, or if you have a job and stuff. But Facebook thinks that this is discrimination. The example that I like to use is, for example, for employment. If you are having a strip club, for example, apparently you have to advertise and your ads, they have to show also ads to 65 years old men, like they're going to come and work for your strip club. But anyway, this is how it's working. Employment, housing, credit, these are special categories. If Facebook is going to categorize you under a special category, basically you're losing the access to some specific interests, and you're losing the possibility of having different ages and different genders to target. For example, if you want to hire a secretary and you want to run ads for that position, you have to also target males because it's a discrimination. Basically, you're going to spend more money and you will have to do your sorting to the needs that you have if you want to go down the Facebook path. Now, it's very important to say that sometimes some ads are getting flagged for no reason under special category. If you make that mistake, you're going to limit yourself. So try to avoid at all costs the special categories and only use them if you have to. If you don't have to use the special category, try to avoid it and don't fall under the special category area because it's going to limit you a lot. That being said, this is a button here. I had experience working with several special categories. I can tell you it's limited. The crazy method is helping a lot on it, but my proposal here is that you should try to avoid them at all costs. Even if you're running employment, try to run the ads without a special category and then go to special category if Facebook is forcing you. And if you're not, don't just, give up and say, okay, Facebook thinks I'm special category, going to run special category. Try not to run in a special category, especially if you're not, because it's going to limit you. Then we have over here the use of a catalog. You can use a catalog if you want to run campaigns, any kind of campaigns, but there are two ways of using a catalog. Either you're going to use it here and you're going to have a completely different interface over here. which is going to look like this. Catalogs are ideal for companies and accounts that they have many products and all of that, but it also depends on your budget. For example, if you have a budget of $100 and you have many products, I wouldn't go with a catalog. I would ask the person that has the e-commerce store which are the best sellers. So if you have a bestseller, I would focus on the bestseller from your 1000 products. I will focus on the bestseller because I know that the bestsellers consist 90 or 95 or 80%, whatever, of the total sales of the store. So I would go down that path instead of using a catalog trying to sell all of the products. I know that even if I use a catalog, most probably it was going to sell the best seller items. And that being said, I will use catalogs only if I want to advertise all of the products, or sometimes on retargeting, but only if I have many products. If I want to focus on 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 products, I would just do normal ads without focusing on the catalog. Not because it doesn't work, it works really well, but because catalogs tend to be problematic. They auto update, they have mistakes, you don't have influence to the creative, it's just the carousel which is taking images. You can do things to the catalogs. You can even add specific frames with some companies that they now exist, and they have, but it's so much work, and you can have much better results with the creative that you control instead of just having a carousel. Now, if you're a company that has many products and sells all of these products, yes, you have to work with your catalogs, with frames, with all of that, with companies. I think that these companies are also not very cheap. They're expensive, and they help you to fix your catalog with specific frames and all of that. Let's discuss a little bit about the A/B over here, which is called now A/B test. I don't use it. I can do my own tests with CBO and all of that. I'm not going to use an A/B test. I just want to have campaigns that I can basically keep. The catalogs, by the way, it's something that you can go and check in the Commerce Center, and you can create different product sets. We're going to discuss a little bit about the product sets over here. Advanced campaign budget. This is what we used to call CBO, campaign budget optimization. You have two ways of running traditional ads. Either it's going to be ABO or it's going to be CBO. The ABO means that you have your budget on the ad set level. That means that you're going to decide how much each ad set is going to spend. The CBO is a feature that came later. I believe it's 3 years now that we have CBO. It wasn't working very well initially, but it's working really well now. Basically, what Facebook says here is that, okay, we have 10 ad sets, 5, 6 ad sets. I'm going to decide how much I'm going to spend between these ad sets based on results that they're going to have. What you're doing is that you turn it on and you just put your budget, which is going to be 100. One question, let's say in that case, one question that I get a lot is, how many ad sets should I put in my normal campaign? There's no point of running a CBO and having one ad set. So it's like an ABO basically. When you're having a CBO campaign, if you have some results into your ad account, it's very simple to say that you're going to do, let's calculate together over here. So I'm putting out this Word file over here. Let's say, for example, that you're running ads for 2 or 3 months, and you're seeing that your average cost per purchase that you're getting, let me write it also here, average cost per purchase that you're getting on your cold traffic ads, not on retargeting, of course, you are getting, let's say, 20 USD. Okay. And then you're having a budget that you want to spend into your CBO of 100. A logic way of actually understanding how many ad sets you should put is to say, okay, I'm going to do 100 divided with 20, which equals 5. This is 5 ad sets. But let's say that you have, for example, a budget of 300 and you just want to do one CBO. I'm having the feeling that I'm creating this video and I go from one thing to the other, and I have so many things that I want to tell you, but bear with me, we're going to make a full guide. This is why I create all of that. So basically, when you are running CBO campaigns with 100, then you want to test if you can do a 200 campaign and it's working. You want to test a 300, 400, 500, because it's much easier for you to handle one $500 campaign CBO instead of having several 100 ones, okay, 100 ones. You can decide how you want to do it. You can do it in a much slower pace, for example, doing 2 or 3 or 4 CBO campaigns. Of course, we have also the Advantage Plus that you can do. You should focus also on Advantage Plus, but we're talking about CBOs over here also. In my opinion, you should have a mix, first focusing more in Advantage Plus and then moving to CBO. If you don't have this luxury because it's a new ad account, and as you can understand, I have to talk for everyone over here, not just for trained ad accounts, because it's not fair for the others. If you just have an untrained pixel and all of that, maybe you have to have a mix of CBO campaigns or only CBO campaigns and then Advantage Plus, or half. But in trained ad accounts, for sure, you can have more Advantage Plus and less CBO campaigns. The only problem with Advantage Plus is that you have a limitation of 8 per ad account. Over here, this is how you calculate the budget that you are going to have, but you also need to see things like how are the ad sets optimizing in CBO optimization. We're going to do a separate video about CBO optimization, which is going to explain more about it, but this is just a very easy way. You're just seeing what you're getting in average results in your cold traffic ads, and then you're saying, okay, if I'm getting this kind of results, for example, let's see what we do in this ad account, okay? So in this ad account, if we check the cold traffic ads, for example, we can see that we have 45, 48, 54. So let's say that we are in average, what stupid I am. In average, we have 53, okay? So let's say that we want to create a CBO campaign and we want to spend, because this is a bigger ad account, we want to spend 500, okay? Doing 500 divided with 50, this is 10 ad sets, okay? Now, let's say, for example, that here we had, let's say, $500 budget, and we wanted to do, we had, for example, an average cost per purchase of 20, okay? Now, because I know that some of you might think like this, you're not going to do 25 ad sets. What you're going to do is you're going to basically go and ask more sales per ad set with your budget. So right now, when we do 20 over here, cost per purchase, we are asking to have one sale for each one of the 25 ad sets. It's not going to happen, but this is the theory just to explain it. So after that, you're going to start dividing this by 2 in order for you to get below 10, okay? And then again by 2. So what did we do now? We ask divided by 2, 3 sales for each one of our assets. So here you can have 7 assets basically by having a $500. So if you do 500 divided with 7, you're going to get 71, which if you're going to divide by 3, you're getting the 23 or 20, which is the cost per purchase, the average cost per purchase that we said that supposedly we're going to see on the ad account. Don't go more than 10 or 15 ad sets in a CBO campaign. Try to keep it there. And if you are having bigger budgets that you want to spend, don't do many ad sets. Just try to get more sales per ad set instead. What I have realized in the second quarter, around second and third quarter, is that I want to simplify a little bit the amount of ad sets that I put in CBOs because it was easier, and it's easier also to explain to people. Having more ad sets in a CBO campaign, it's much more difficult to optimize, and it's much more difficult for me to explain it, and it needs more experience. So I started using between 12 and 3 ad sets based on the budget, and I was never going above 12 ad sets in my CBO optimization. Now, a little bit more theory about the CBO optimization over here, and then we're going to move to the settings of the ad sets. The CBO optimization, what does this mean? If we come here, let me open a paint over here. I'm going to make a very stupid draw, but I'll explain what it is. So what is this? We consider this the bell curve, as we call it, and this is the curve that we have in each one of the ad sets. Basically, what does this mean? That each ad set has a soft spot, okay? So when you're starting an ad set, for example, for $10 over here, this is going to start increasing up to the point that maybe you can take this to 50 by just increasing the budget. That means that after that it's going to start dropping because here's the ROAS. Okay, so you're going to have worse ROAS as you increase it more and more. Basically, this is not the ROAS, this is the spend over here. This is the spend. Okay. Sorry for my stupid drawing. The more you increase the spend, the ROAS is actually going to start dropping. So there's always a soft spot over here. Now, if you start an asset from 10, this soft spot can be on 20, 30, 50, and then the results are going to start dropping. You all know, if you have ABO campaigns that you optimize, that when you increase the budget, a lot of times you see these campaigns dying. But another thing here that I want to point out is that the CBO campaign has this big advantage of starting one ad set just because it's better, just because it knows. Who knows? It starts this ad set from the point of spending immediately, from example, since day 140, okay? You are not taking this decision, Facebook is taking this decision for you. And that's the whole point of having CBO optimization, because it's going to take the decision of how much it's going to spend per ad set. And this is very crucial for us, because this is a machine which is taking decisions, and we are humans. So as humans, even if we take the right decision to start it from 10 or 20, eventually by scaling it, we're going to do a mistake. This is inevitable. But when Facebook is taking a decision of saying, okay, I'm going to start this ad set from 20, I'm going to start this ad set from 50, 60, because it's just dividing a budget among ad sets and then evaluating which one has the chances of having more sales if it gives it more budget, Facebook is going to make less mistakes. This is by default. And if it makes more mistakes, we come with CBO optimization, which we're going to explain in another video, and we intervene. But for sure, we are eliminating the possibility of doing a lot of mistakes. And this is what is the problem with ABO campaigns, and this is why we're not using them anymore, because Facebook can take better decisions when it comes to budget allocation. So this is how the CBO budget is working, and this is why it's better. When you're starting, instead of starting off 10, the bell curve, the soft point, instead of being to 20, 30, 50, you can start an ad set immediately, because Facebook allocates the budget to it from 50, 60, 70, 80, and the bell curve, actually the soft spot, it can be to 120, 130, and you're not taking this decision of taking it there. Facebook is going to take the decision on how long it's going to go with this ad set. We're just here watching silently and intervening to wherever we think that it's not doing it properly. But for sure, we are making less mistakes like this, because there are key decisions that Facebook is taking for us with the campaign budget optimization and the allocation that it does. So that's all I had for you. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget that you can always ask me any question that you want and that you feel that it wasn't clarified. But I do feel that we covered everything. Don't forget that if you want to learn more, you can check my other videos, my book or my website or my course. And until we meet again, guys, be creative and be consistent.